Hey everybody, the light is still gray today, but it's super even and the colors are coming through pretty accurately because of the subdued light. So I thought I would go and film a rainbow video showing off the different colors of various types of DOONEY leather. So here's my colorful collection. I have a couple more bags that aren't shown that are in like natural or brown, and a couple more that are in Claremont leather, which is a different color set. And these are all the small satchels and the medium satchels and one Clayton and one Bolero bag. So these are more like related bags than the ones I'm not showing. So start here on the left. This is a calf small satchel in Orchid, and Orchid is a cool, very cool pinky purple, very pinky, but like a blue pink. I think the color is actually coming through very accurately. It's just a little bit less saturated than it looks right now in the video. Followed by strawberry and pebble grain, baby pink Florentine, tangerine Samba, sunflower Samba, of course, grass green pebble, Kelly green pebble, and you can see they're different. It's not super obvious, but Kelly is definitely more of a neon color. Heather, and this is probably the most accurate I've seen it on video. It's a little bit darker than it looks like, but it's a beautiful clear blue-gray. Dusty blue in Pebble, a very periwinkle. Lavender in Florentine, and Amethyst in Pebble. Followed by Melon in Lambskin Carrington Pouch. The Bolero, which I believe this is Fuchsia Florentine, and this is some sort of alto leather. Not sure what the color is. Salmon Florentine. It's a bit lighter than that. That's more like it. Let me adjust that. Yeah, I mean, this is about the actual brightness level. It's a very subdued but beautiful glowing color. And then this is Florentine in Fuchsia. It's a little bit less saturated in real life. This bag has seen some shit. And finally, the Grail of Grails, Violet. This is a Clayton, and it's made of Florentine, and this is the first DOONEY that I got. So I'm going to grab some of these and take them close to the window so that you can see what they look like. Here we have Tangerine Samba, Melon Lambskin, and again, Salmon Florentine. You can really see the difference between the oranges here all together, and especially with this white here, so that my camera can key off the white balance. And by camera, I mean iPhone. So the tangerine has red to it. It's a reddish orange, sort of like those 1970s oranges, but without any of the black shading to it. It is pure red orange, mostly orange, just a touch of red, and really just a clear, beautiful color. And here we have the melon, which is, I mean, supposedly like what happens when you cut into a cantaloupe, but I have never seen a cantaloupe this beautiful color inside. They're usually pretty pale and anemic, and I should know, I've been super pale and anemic myself. This is a orange that is on the yellower side of the spectrum. It doesn't have any red in it whatsoever, and you can really see the difference when you look at them together. And also you can see how sickly they make me by comparison. Orange clothing is not my color. And then the salmon, which is a very light salmon. This is about the right color, but it's not quite the right shade. So let me see if I can brighten it. I mean, I think this, what you're seeing now on video, is about the right depth of darkness of the color, but it's a little bit difficult to film. It is a pale creamsicle, is a color that I would describe it. It does have the touch of peach, but it is not a peach color. It's very close to creamsicle with just a little hint of pink in it. It's not nearly as dark as actual salmon meat, which is good because who wants to carry a meat bag? We are meat bags. We don't need to carry meat bags. Here we have grass green Pebble and Kelly green Pebble. And while you can see that they are different in terms of their undertones, this is a yellow green and that is a bluer green. Let me see if putting the paper under here will do the trick in terms of the actual depth of color, because they're not coming through as saturated as they really are. Ugh, stupid key keepers. So the Kelly is a deeper, more intense green with some blue. I would say that it is an electric blue green, like a jungle green from the crayon box, from the Crayola box way back when, which of course was my favorite color. And the grass green is much more like actual plant life. It has yellow, it's a little bit dusty, it's got a touch of gray to it, so it's a much more refined color. It's a much more neutral color. I'm gonna see if I can add an actual... So like, it's much more like of a natural color. I've never seen anything this color in nature. This definitely, yellow green, is real. This is actually a fake plant, but it's very compelling looking. So I'm actually going to be selling the grass green because they are close enough that I don't need both. I ordered them sight unseen back when I Love Dooney was selling these without any photos, which they're doing again with new colors. Why would you do that? That is something I do not understand about Dooney and Bourke. I am new to Dooney and Bourke, new to like nice purses, and I just don't understand a brand selling expensive bags without photos. I mean, clearly people are buying them. I bought them. But sometimes they're full price and they still don't have photos. We are crazy people and they know it, and they're like, I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to say that it's this color and we're going to produce it, but why take photos? Who cares? List it. People will buy it. And they're right. But that is such a strange way of doing business. There are so many businesses that will sell out products pretty much no matter what, but they actually still go through the motions of photographing them and advertising them. I mean, look at Apple. Apple never doesn't sell tons of iPhones, but they still do these huge promotion events. It's beyond my understanding as someone who studies business, and it is fascinating, but I digress. I am selling this bag, so if you have any interest in a beautiful, natural, neutral, it is less harsh green than it looks here. It's also less shiny than it looks. Funny how cameras work. It is a very refined green color that is almost a neutral, like real plant life outside goes with literally anything. This will go with literally anything. So if you're interested in a green bag, let me know. So let me know. And I wanted to show you also, that was the wrong bag. So this has a yellow undertone. And this is a yellow with a green undertone. Do you see how they sort of jive? Because they're essentially the opposite. Let's try that again. They are essentially the opposites or complementary of each other. And I mean, naturally, these are analogous colors. You know, in the color wheel, green and yellow come next to each other. But especially green-yellow comes next to a yellow-green. So these colors look very at home together for that reason, because they flow along the spectrum into each other. By comparison, so need a third hand, sorry. Yeah. These have a very different type of relationship. It's much more energetic and less peaceful. They sort of vibrate a little bit instead of harmonizing because they have different undertones and they're not opposites or complementary. So we have blue, green, a green with a blue undertone and a yellow with a green undertone. So they don't jive as much. However, they still look great as a set of citrus. I don't think most people would ever notice that they are different sort of formulations of colors. I'm into this. And that brings us to the blues, which are all the way over there, so I'm gonna have to go up and get them. One moment. Since I love terrible puns and jazz, I'm dubbing the next section kind of blue, because I don't actually have any blue bags. I sold my denim, which was a definite blue, and I just shipped it today. I tried to film this video before I shipped it, but the weather was not cooperating, and then I felt super sick. So let's start off with the bluest bag I have, a Dooney dust bag, just for comparison. So I'm sure if you own a Dooney, you know that this is a deep, rich blue, not a true navy. It's like not the almost black, but it is definitely like a super dark denim-y color, but a bit more intense without the black that some denim has in it. And the first blue I wanted to show you is dusty blue. As you can see, this is not a pure blue. It has some sort of lilac tones in it. People have described this as a periwinkle, and I had independently also thought to myself that it is a periwinkle before I found that everyone online apparently agrees with me, or I agree with them. They probably came up with it first. And it is not a blue. It is not just a blue that's pale and dusty. It is very close to, I think, actual lavender color. Not the lavender bag, but lavender the plant has a lot more blue in it than I think people give it credit for. You know, if you ever have like a lavender bunch hanging in your home, where you go and you buy lavender at a farm or whatever, when it's fresh, when it's growing on the plant, it's quite purple. When it's dry, this color is a lavender color. Of dried lavender. It's definitely in that variation. So not a true blue. And neither is this guy. Let's see. That's actually the most accurate I've seen it with my big old sleeve in there. This is Heather. Hi, Heather. Don't blow up the school, Heather. Oh, 80s movie reference. So Heather is a sort of creamy, slightly, I don't even know how to describe it. I usually am better with intense colors. It is a lovely light blue-gray, more blue than gray. It's like a overcast sky when it's like not a dark day, but when there's all wispy stuff and the sky looks almost a little creamy and yellow, if you know what I mean. This is that. And in absence of this other stuff, it could look gray, could look blue, could look almost white, depending on the light and what you're surrounding it by. So I'm going to take away Dusty here for a minute. And I'm going to take away Dusty bag. So let's see what you look like in isolation. That's pretty accurate. Heather is a beautiful color. I bought it sight unseen again, which is kind of crazy to me. Why would I do that? I don't know. But I'm really glad that I did, whatever temporary insanity overtook me, because it is a beautiful color, and apparently they only made a very few. I wanted to show you one more thing to contrast it with. Where did I put it? Where is it? It's literally sitting in my lap. I'm a dum-dum. So I don't have, as I said, my denim bag anymore, and I don't have a cobalt Samba, which is what I would really like to find. Cobalt and turquoise. Those are my remaining sort of bag of corns. I would love an aqua Florentine, but I would be too afraid to carry it, I think. I think I love the more intense color of the Sambas. So I have Mr. Owl here, who is a cobalt color. And I just thought that that was an interesting contrast with the heather and with the dusty blue. Because if you're looking for a blue bag, these are really not the bags that you want. Do you see that? This is a true cobalt color in the glass here. You see how gray and dusty and slightly lavender and slightly yellow these are? Yeah, so if you're looking for a pure blue bag, these are really not your bags. If you like colors that can go with a lot of things that are neutrals, that are ostensibly blue, but actually a neutral, and they are not very committed to being any one shade, then both of these colors, the dusty blue Pebble and the heather Pebble, are fantastic. When in doubt, use an owl. That's my motto. We live in the countryside. We lived in Philadelphia, downtown Philadelphia, in the 1740s. Colonial row house that was the most beautiful house, and we loved it. But I got a brain injury, and the sound of the city just started to murder me. Couldn't live there anymore. So we moved to 10 acres out here in the country, and it comes with a lot of wildlife. I know what owls sound like. At least I thought. I thought I knew what owls sounded like. But it turns out that certain owls, barn owls, sound like something being murdered. No cute little hoo-hoo. Barn owls definitely sound like someone or something being stabbed or strangled or both. Yeah, more than one visitor has been like, something's dying in your woods. Thank God for YouTube. I Googled animals screeching at night, countryside, Pennsylvania, and birds screeching night, countryside, Pennsylvania, and found that it was a barn owl. Hooray for the internet. So I think that we're into pinks and purples now. So I guess that was blue, so purple should come next. I didn't fail kindergarten. What are you talking about? Oh, they're behind me, of course. Oof. This bag is incredible. This is the Amethyst in Pebble Grain, and it is exactly as intense and amazing as it looks. And there's another one. Oof. And this is a Lavender Florentine satchel. So I wanted to show you the difference between these two, because they're both super hard to find right now. It might actually, I mean, there's a bunch of lavenders there's a bunch of amethysts sort of circulating right now. They were on I Love DOONEY for like a hot second without a picture, and I thought to myself, I will wait till they have a picture. Which was stupid, because the next morning they were gone and never came back. And then there were a bunch of colors listed under the Pebble Grain satchel, and every time I would click one twice to like switch it to that color, it would disappear, the page would reload, and those colors wouldn't be there anymore. So it's been an adventure. I got this on the secondary market on eBay. Lisa found it for me, which was super nice. But you can see that they're actually very different. So the Florentine is, I think, you know, like the aqua or the dusty blue Florentine, same color, names, totally different color. It's a lot more of a powdery color. It's a more refined, restrained color. And yes, my Florentine is pebbled all over, which may make it look a little dustier, but it is like a dusty lavender, not to be confused with the color that DOONEY calls dusty lavender, but it is a very refined, almost neutral purple. This can go with a lot of things, and that's why I don't mind having a duplicate, because I love purple and my husband adores purple, and this purple is purple that can go with so many different things. Like, look at my pastel glitter watch there versus, see how different it looks with that. It's a weird color comparison, Amy. So I wanted to show you the dusty blue with the lavender. And they're not the same, but you can see how similar they are in terms of the depth of color, the intensity of color, and sort of like the opinionatedness maybe of the color, the purity of the color. I'm sure there's a technical word for that. They're not very saturated. The Florentine leather is, of course, soft and delicious. But for my money, the color is better on the Amethyst. Which brings us to pink. Oh my God, we're almost at the end. There's so many bags. But we're not quite at the end yet. Let's start with Orchid. There are two calf satchel colors that are floating around. Orchid and one called Dusty Lavender. And they both look pretty much the same in photographs. I have not seen Dusty Lavender in person. Mama Beach says it is very pink. And this is not nearly as pink as it's coming out. Let me try this again. All right, we are now down to the fattest and most fabulous category. Various shades of pink. Valera's back there like, why am I all alone? Why did you leave me? Doesn't really fit with the categorization of all the colors. I'm going to do a video on her all by herself soon. Oof, scooching closer to the table is hard. Hi, Haskell. Just in case you were going to buy a bag from me and are allergic to cat hair, I usually keep my bags in the closet and would gladly wipe down and vacuum any of them. Just let me know. I already wiped them down to make sure there's no cat hair on them before I put them away, because that would be gross. So, on that disgusting sidebar, let's look at the various pinks and purple pinks. I just downloaded an app called Filmic Pro for my iPhone because the regular iPhone camera video function was just blowing out all of these colors and you could not tell the difference. Right now, this is the most accurate I've ever seen any of them on camera. The one that is not super accurate is the violet, and that's because it glows with this like radioactive power when you're looking at it in real life that you just can't capture, I think, with photographs. It is so powerful and out there. It's like boom, a punch to your eyelids in like a happy way. But all the other colors are super accurate. This is Orchid and Calf again, and you can see just how blue purple it is as a pink. This is Baby Pink. You can see how sweet and pastel it is without being like too cloyingly precious. This is Strawberry Pebble. It's a little bit more raspberry than is showing right now. I think actually from back here it's more accurate. You see how deep and dark that is? It's even darker in person. Fuchsia Florentine, and of course Violet Florentine. Oh, good. It's keeping Bolero company. That's a good kitty. I am an intellectual and refined person, except when it comes to my cats. Also colors and art. Actually, come to think of it, I may be intellectual, but I'm not at all refined. Who am I kidding? Okay, enough about me. So, just wanted to show you just the difference in all of the colors. These are all super different. If I were going to trim my collection, I would probably get rid of the Strawberry Pebble grain. However, I don't want to do that because it's the only one of these that is really water resistant and durable. Pebble grain leather is not as soft and squishy and delicious as Florentine or the Calf or the Samba, but it is durable and can take whatever I throw at it, which is great because I'm a klutz. Whenever I walk around, I'm always banging my bags into stuff and bumping things and just generally being afraid that I'm going to destroy things, which is why I don't mind that this Baby Pink came with a couple little flaws, because now I'm not scared. I got a good price and I'm not scared of actually carrying it. What's interesting to me is the finish quality also was quite different. I don't mean like the quality of the production. I think that they're all really well made, but the leather surface seems very different on the different bags. So this is a very smooth and I would say dry and almost like it makes me think of like a powdery finish. And so does the Florentine on my Lavender Satchel. The calf is very evenly pebbled, very smooth and just slightly shiny, but so is this Florentine. So this is Florentine and it's shiny. It's not, you see the difference? This is shiny because it's got a lot of window light, but it's not actually shiny as a leather itself. And then this Florentine was extremely dry and dusty when I got it, and then I conditioned it, and I'm going to condition it again, and the conditioner has really helped. They're all very different. Well, that was rude. I got one of those spam calls that spoofs my old area code, which is hilarious because I know literally no one in the area code from my cell phone. And it interrupted my video. I did not know that the iPhone did that. Usually people don't call me. So I'm on airplane mode now. Lesson learned. Learning all kinds of delicious things about vlogging, aren't I? Where was I? Blue something. I don't remember what I was saying. So there's definitely like a warm and cool section going on. So we've got, oof. See how dedicated I am. I staged these, merchandise them with books as plants. There's no other way to photograph so many at once. Videograph, whatever. Words, what do they mean? I don't know. We've got ultra cool, fairly cool. I mean, this is I don't know. It's bluer than it's coming off here. I wonder if can I adjust? How do I? Oh, color grading. How do I? This app is amazing. Oh, that's about the actual color for the violet. That is really close. This is no longer accurate. These aren't. But this is like very close to what the violet really looks like. So can I go back to where it was? There we go. Cool. This app is really neat. So this is very blue. And this is moderately blue. And this is like incredibly like fresh, sort of almost peachy undertone pink. And this, I think the baby pink is actually a bit cooler than the fuchsia, but it is so pastel that you can't tell. And then you have this guy, the strawberry and the Made in America. This one is a hard color to film. This is a deeper raspberry. I'm going to insert a photo because I've actually managed to get a really good photo of this. It is a deep raspberry color. I mean, raspberries, we all know what raspberries look like. They're a deep, deep blue pink. And I love blue pinks. On second thought, if I had to get rid of one of them, I think it would probably be the baby pink, which is ridiculous because I just got it. Let's see. We are now overexposed, are we? There we go. That's pretty good. Pretty accurate. So those are the pinks and the blue pinks, and they're like lavender. Be aware that the dusty lavender color appears to be possibly pinker than the orchid. And just, where's the actual lavender? Where did I put that bag? For comparison, while orchid is quite blue for pink, it is not actually blue. It's all relative. Well, I think I'm actually out of words now, which people who know me would find suspicious, but I am out of words, and I think that that's all that there is to say about these colors for now. If you have any questions or comments, please leave it down below. See you next time. Bye.